No one can lose. No one can lose. I was close to the line for the shot.
Right.
The whole point of the decision. Can't make rules and then break.
No holds barred. That's what a no holds barred match is. No holds are barred in the XSS. They never were. It was always up to you guys to decide.
There's no point in having competition and then the opinion matches. It defeats the purpose.
Right. But the hardcore title could be defended at all times. If you can't defend it, dude, we're talking extreme here. There are no rules in extreme. That's why it's suicidal. You are upset that he agreed to something that he didn't stick to.
Exactly. And about my knowledge of me too. That's the thing that killed me too.
This is a beautiful storyline. Just both of you need to watch your P's and Q's with what you say. You can mean everything you say, but when you want to be friends again, you got to turn the switch off. You both have to flip the switch at the same time. That's like you and Spam. Neither one of you could flip the switch together. I love hearing about it. I'm glad that you told me. I'll hear his side too. In a separate party and both of you together. I'll act as judge, jury, and executioner if you want me to. Big John Judge. If you remember him, he was judge, jury, and executioner. He was my most popular character. Over 130 downloads, and I'm very, very proud of that number. He was crazy, crazy popular. Swerve. You like that show on WWE Network? Swerve. I like it. Because it tells me what I'm swerving at, exactly how I need to hear it. Every time I can watch the same episodes over and over again, and it's new to me every time. I love it. But I hate it at the same time. It's original to me anymore. Because I feel like I've already seen it. But I watch it through and to the point where I switch to something else. My head's on a swivel. What's up, Cool? LL Cool J? That's what you were going for, wasn't it? Tell me you like LL Cool J. I know you do.
I gotta go.
I know you do.
You know I do what? What I do? Stop it. Man, I gotta go make a run with Beyonce.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah, gotta get everything situated. By this time, next week, I'll be in the apartment. And after that, we gotta get ready for the wedding.
Isaac can map itself to each of the wings in the base and sync their proc. And the more stable this base is,
I'm moving
the better
into
shape the
apartment.
city
I
will
already
be
got
in.
it situated. I'm moving in on the 26th.
You know, I finally came from. Not to cut you off, I'm sorry. Go ahead, man. You sound like you're in a very good mood.
The security wing needs some love.
Really.
And Captain Benitez.
No?
The JTF
Dude, you sound like you're doing just
He
fine.
can mobilize them and help us get the intel and
I wanna play
firepower
the
we
beta.
need to get all these hostiles.
Not too long, not too long. I'll be back as soon as I can.
You know, this is a sensitive subject I'm about to reach into. Spoiler alert. The word which came from another country, and they were too idiotic and confused.
See anything you need?
Meant over there. A country, not a people. You know what I mean? There's a country spelled just the same. And he's not in a good mood right now, so he can't hear this.
The medical wing is a wreck right now.
That's why he left.
Once we get that virologist over here, we can build up a staff, investigate the origin of the virus,
yeah, he had
and
shit
start
to
getting
do.
more supplies.
That's why he
civilians,
left.
But for
but
us
it's also because he wasn't about to hear what he wanted not to hear. Everybody who's been in a party with me when I declare what I am or what I know leaves when they feel uncomfortable.
Hey, you know you want to take
and I understand that. It's also because he had shit to do, but he could have stayed on a little longer if he was having a good time. You know that. I'm only being as wise as I can. I'm young. You know, I'm 24 years young. Even though the number on my license dictates 27. I'll never grow past 24 as a man, and I'll never grow past 8 years old as a child. It's perfectly divisible. And it's golden numbers. Before the worst thing in my life happened,
best of luck out there.
Step right up
and after the worst thing in my life happened.
It's okay, I get it.
Two different things.
If I don't have it, you don't need it.
And the same.
LMB's looking for someone over at the consulate.
Hey, what you thinking about DBZ, yo?
What about DBZ?
Xenoverse.
Think about it?
Well, yeah, what do you think about it right now? Are you thinking you playing something else?
It's a deal.
Visiting hours at the clinic have been restricted to 1200 to 1400 hours.
Best of luck out there.
What's the name of it called again?
The Division.
The Division. And what's it about?
Well, so you're a Division
You can
agent,
spoil
huh?
it. I won't
Great.
be able to tell the difference.
Now, don't...
The Earth back from this virus?
Check him out.
New York. Well, it's spread already. The instant that it hit New York, it spread everywhere. You know that. So if you take back New York, you take back it all, or you just do one fight at a time? So they'll make another game somewhere else, just like Grand Theft Auto does.
See you next time.
I'm sad that Grand Theft Auto repeated San Andreas. They should have did something new, like Boston, Massachusetts, or well, they did. Fallout 4 did Boston, Massachusetts, but they need to do something, and that's first and third person. So I guess I'm happy with that. But they need to do a first person strict or a third person strict of Dark Souls. One of each at the same time. Release them both so that you have to pick. Do you want third person or do you want first person? Make up your mind. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. Pick it. You know what I mean? I don't want there to be an option to switch it on the same game. I want each game to have to be bought separately. You want to know why? Because if you want that bad enough, you'll accept the way the game is. And you don't have to have the option. Fallout Bethesda gives you the option, but they don't give you all the options. And I find that to be discouraging because I want all the options given to me when I'm ready to do it. Because I bought the game. When I'm ready to do something, I should be allowed to do it. But games don't always work that way because the programming is designed to make you want it. How bad you want it, I don't know if I'll buy the next Elder Scrolls Online. I haven't made a decision yet. I hope that they keep bringing out expansion packs forever, but just like DC Universe, I've lost interest because of the greed. So I can live without it. And I will, because Sony pissed me off. And I will do everything in my power to boycott their game. That's a Sony Entertainment game. Strictly. They keep billing me even though there's no credit card on file. They overdraft my account. I've never heard of a PlayStation account overdrafting. It is, isn't it? So they allowed me to buy something because I had some money. So they were willing to let my Plus run out accordingly and then charge me for it again later.
The tech wing has obviously seen better days. But if you can get Rhodes back here, he's apparently got a lot of tricks up his sleeve. Former PMC, I think. Knows more than you think he does.
The billing division is separate?
He'll be very useful.
Was too easy to hack. It was too easy to hack and they separated it. What other company? Do you know the company? Go ahead, I'm gonna eat something while you do that. I'm gonna mute my mic so you don't have to hear me chomp.
Hey, bad news. I'm not gonna be able to get out there. Not with my goddamn leg like this. I'll do what I can from here, but it's not the same. You have no idea how much I wanted to be in the field. I trained for a scenario like this my entire life, but it's worse than anything we could have imagined. You know how they won't let you get too close to anyone, so it won't mess you up when you're finally activated? Well, I did that, and it didn't fucking work. I'm attached. These are my people. This is my city. We're taking it back. Oh.
Look, you need to...
Yeah,
Alright, I'm done eating. Did you find it, or no?
They're counting on us.
Oh.
Let's not let them down.
I didn't know if... Oh, you're in the middle of a cutscene. I apologize. Just when you get a minute. Otherwise, I could probably look it up too. I'm just not good at seeing through the ads. Yeah, but that's always changing.
There will be no further updates to the missing persons database at this time.
So, the liars are the best truth tellers. Wikipedia. Okay, I'll use my... Oh, honey, you're using my tablet. Can you do me a favor, honey? Can you Google who bought Sony Online Entertainment? And do it in Wikipedia.
Listen,
or go to Wikipedia
I spent 6
from
years
Google.
in medical school. I don't give a shit
Who
what you
bought
saw on
Sony
TV while you
Online
were jerking off to
Entertainment?
soap operas and your mom.
Who bought SOE?
We've got a rioter takeover at Madison Square Garden. The JTF and Sarah were using the site as a field hospital, but
Actually,
armed
spell it all the
hostiles
way out
swarmed
just in case.
Now they've got the med staff as hostages. We need them, especially Jessica Candle, the virologist who is running the place. Find her, send her to the base.
Now just
and clean
find
up
out
what's
for
left.
me who bought it. It's still online. It's just being finicky right now. Disconnect from the internet and reconnect. You did it a couple times and it still won't do it? Well then maybe that's something I should look up later. I don't know if it was Trump or the Koch brothers, but those are the two biggest names I know. What about Bill Gates? You think Bill Gates purchased his competition? He still owns Microsoft.
Really saved my ass.
I think Bill Gates purchased his own competition.
We've got a lot of hostiles inside, agents. They're holding
Everything
Dr.
he
Candle
gets
and
from
his staff.
Microsoft
We
is
need those
everything
personnel
that
back
he
to the base
gets.
so we can get the medical.
Without Microsoft succeeding, it would all fail. Therefore, buy out the competition and keep both consoles out. They bought the Nintendo, or Nintendo wouldn't sell. That's why it's having the hardest time. Nintendo didn't want to sell. Instead, they decided to sell to children. I figured that out. Nintendo's never sold out. And that's why it's on the verge of dying. Every year. But they keep it alive, just like Chrysler. 3 main companies. Chevy, Dodge, Ford. Ford's always a Ford though. It's never called anything else. A Chevy's called a GM. A Chrysler's called a Dodge. But Ford has always been Ford. All 3 vehicles are delightful. But they're meant for specific types of people. Huh? Delightful, yeah. And rightful for the person. If they picked it. And take care of it. A game system or a vehicle.
If you patch me into the security system, I might be able to find Candle's location.
Had such a distasteful thought in your head that you couldn't shake it off, and you literally started shaking your head, like to shake it off, like Dean Ambrose? You have? Right, you're trying really hard. What if the thought keeps coming back? Something that's always there. You know what I mean? It's not my thought, but it's, you know, and it wasn't my fault that I learned it. You know what I mean? How do you unlearn something once you've already learned it?
Patched in. Let's see what I can find.
I'm trying to become something else every day. Every
Looks like
day I'm
Candle and his
growing.
staff are being forced to treat their
As a
wounded.
person, as
the only reason
an
they're still
entity. Both. You know, but I can't forget yesterday because I've been telling myself to never forget. And that's the best thing, because you can't forget something that's so important. You know what I mean? Every little thing I've learned is important in some way. I just haven't figured out how to put the puzzle back together. I'm having a hard time being one with myself. Maybe it's time for me to play a little bit of Xbox, but do you have an Xbox?
It looks like they've got
Once you
people
get the
upstairs.
Xbox One, send me your new gamer tag. Is it the same as this one? DC2, the number, cool? Alright, cool. I wasn't able to do
There's a
that
lot of
because
these guys,
somebody
but
already
if you
took
use
my
cover,
name on
you should be able to
Xbox.
pick them off without
I'm
making
not the
yourself
original
the
Death
target.
Release on Xbox. I'm the original Death Release 89, but not the original Death Release on Xbox One. No, I know. But I was the very first, the third, the second, the fifth. Count them up. I've done every combination of me on PlayStation. I've done Death's Release 24. Done Death's Release 89. Death Release 89. Death Release 24. I've taken the S out. I've put it back in. I've never used just one number next to my name though. Maybe I should just put a number 1 next to my name on Xbox. I'm sure he already thought of it though. And I'm sure he did 1 through 6 through 7 until I got to 89. That bastard. Whoever tried to market my name, I am fucked.
Additional hostiles detected.
This ought to be easy.
It feels like he tried to market my name.
Gotta draw him out of cover.
But it also feels like I tried to market his name. I can't... Who really did do it first? That's the true question. Chicken or the egg? If a bear shits in the woods, can you smell it?
Additional hostiles detected.
Some people can. Even if they're not in the woods. All you gotta be is on the gravel outside the road. And that bear will come right up to you. And it'll chase you across the street if it has to. If you know what I mean. It's a little more of a riddle than I'm used to giving you. I'm sorry. Smell what I'm crack-a-lacking?
Warning. Additional hostiles detected.
Alright. Can't. Thousands of years of history. And if you could go back in time to stop it from happening, would you? Which point in time? What's your top 3? Extreme holocaust of people and their souls, their dignity. A holocaust of your dignity. What 3 jump out at you the most? You're gonna say it never happened. Good.
Candle and her staff are still upstairs, stashed in the kitchen at Kobe's.
I understand. Wouldn't have respected those people. Sacrifices.
Yeah, has to be done. There's no way, I mean, because not because everybody who's around Black men at the beginning of time never die of illness or, you know, murder or whatever, and they all live to be on old age and die of natural causes.
Right.
You know, so the world, you know what it was.
The world needs to let it happen. The U.S. needs to back off. ISIS.
Word is that they've really trashed the place. It would
But
have
they're
broken my
becoming
dad's
their
heart
own
to see it go to
country,
hell
don't
like
you
this.
see?
We used to watch games there together.
Before destruction comes creation.
I think it's better
I'm
my
preaching
folks didn't
someone
live
who
to see
knows.
any of this. But then I think about all the people doing their best
Barris
to keep going.
says exactly what a god of
That's who we do
destruction
this
would
for,
say.
Agent. Go get him.
Before creation comes destruction. I'll say it that way too. All things have to be crushed before they can turn into diamonds. The diamond in the rough. I believe that whichever side Abraham Lincoln truly was on.
To To get to Kobe's,
is
you'll have
the
to pass by
side
some
that made
contaminated
sure
areas.
to keep
There used
the
to be plenty of
balance
sick people being treated there before they got shot.
at the right
So be
time,
careful.
in the right place. Perfection. He allowed it to happen during his reign, only to take it away at the end of the war. You understand? That guy had him too. Everyone did. That's just something that you were expected to do. And the North wasn't too happy about it. So it became a tighter and tighter and tighter rope until the slip knot slipped through and it was over. Imagine a slip knot being pulled so tight it slips right through. That was the end of slavery in our country. Maybe not this entire continent, but in our country. Maybe not even Central America or South America. But we let them each fight their own wars because America is united. It's not just the United States that's united, it's the entire company. It's the encumbered version of America that fights the other half of the world. America believes that the entire rest of the world is our other half. We're constantly bouncing off each other to make sure we're on the same page. It's like looking in a mirror. The United States only does something when it feels it was necessary to do for itself. And it does it to them. So that they can learn and grow. Every horrible thing that's ever happened was a puzzle being reminded to put itself together.
Hey, this is our house. This is our house. This should be an easy kill. You're dead, shitbag.
Evolution and God work hand in hand perfectly. Imagine them holding their hands and skipping through a playground. Imagine them elderly and holding each other up. That's what it would be like.
Nobody comes onto our turf.
That's what it is. Scientology was the very first religion to try to mix them together. And they're looked at as being absolutely out of their gourd. As is every religion that's not your own. I have no religion, therefore I have them all. I was born Catholic, but I renounced and became Hebrew. The closest thing to Hebrew without going into a bar mitzvah or any other, talking to a rabbi or reading from a scroll, you know, things that I would love to do, but Jewish people do not accept people lightly. They're a very tribal people. And I do not fit the bill. I might have brown hair and not blonde, but my eyes are hazel and they change color to whatever they need to, but my hair does too, actually. My skin, I get, as I get older, I get these brown blotches. And they usually go where my hair's about to grow, and then hair grows from it. So whenever I get a new brown blotch, I know my fur's coming in. You know what I mean? And every time I see my hair change color, it's either from the sunlight or hair dye, but the sunlight, even without hair dye, changes my color.
Taking heavy fire from the roof. They can't move until you get
even
up there
if I shave my head bald and let it grow back again. My eyebrows are black, my arm hair is blonde, my head hair red, brown,
All yours,
sometimes
Agent.
blonde. Like, I have a lot of different colors, man. I can't ever pick one. You know what I mean? My body doesn't know which one I should be. You know, so my body's just different shades of every color that I got. I've got silver, I've had white, I've had black, I've had red, I've had blonde, I've had brown, dark, light. I've already experienced every physical change through color. My hands and things turn dark ass purple. Never quite black. That's what I'm trying for. I'm trying to see if I can force it to happen, but through my will. Kind of like how Michael thought he could just change without people having an explanation why he did it. Instead, they gave him two choices: surgery or a fire accident. Which one was it? Was it both? Who knows? He lost his face. The poor man burned. How much of his body burned was up to him. And the plastic replaced it. Biomechanical. Science and religion working hand in hand. I believe he was... I said biomechanical. Michael Jackson, though, yeah. From the Jackson 5, that Michael Jackson. I have to be specific because I never know who's listening. I might have to be more specific so anyone who's listening could understand. Right now it's just me and you on the mic, but there's electric waves and everything in the air.
Alpha Escort, we have an agent on the roof.
Wi-Fi signals
made it
that
to your
we can't see, that we're touching all the time.
Theater staff just arrived. As soon as the hostiles
Just like
on the roof
radio
are gone,
waves,
we'll get her across
just like
safely.
spiritual waves. Science and religion. That's my religion and my science. Religion and science. Science and religion, hand in hand, working perfectly together as they should. The Shroud of Turin was examined by scientists because the Pope deemed it necessary. They needed to prove to the world something that they still haven't proven. And they gave it back. This happened once in the 70s. I believe it happened in either the 80s or 90s. And you know what the Shroud of Turin is, right? It's the cloak that Jesus would have been wrapped in when Mary pulled him from the tomb. But he was missing. And the shroud was laying there without him. There was no human possible way that rock could have been moved. That rock was placed there as a tomb. He was never intended to leave, but he did. And he elevated himself to another level that was too difficult for the weak-minded to embrace. They all bowed in fear. And since then, we've only had maybe one that's been obvious. Chris Angel. He's blatantly, flamboyantly, hubrisly, arrogantly controlling his family, putting them in fear, doing these reality shows to rub it in even more that he can do these things and create more speculation. He's always monitoring his own propaganda. He's constantly putting doubt out there so that the weak-willed will not continue. But the strong-willed will find a way to reach his excellence. Not everything is a magic trick. Sometimes it's point blank in front of you and you just have to see it before you can embrace it. And that's what he does. He puts it out there so you can make up your mind how he's doing it. How? Why? Could he? Is it possible? All questions coming to mind when you think about it. Which doubts are you going to let set in? None, in my opinion. I don't doubt anything that he's doing. He's doing